range him and be a jerk. So I don't think we're going to see it here, but you already talked about the interactions of the Kled. Of the people to target, it's going to be the Aatrox. Silas is going to go jungle. After all, something still viable on patch 9.15, even if it's going to be further powered down in the future.
Yeah, we're not quite 9.16 just yet. As we've seen Score prioritizing the Silas jungle quite a lot on KT's side, but haven't seen it from Malrung just yet. We'll see how he goes. Here, let's see if they can again in game number 2. The Jin Air faithful, not exactly in full voice here today, but doing their very best to stay positive. And if there's ever a series for you to stay positive and it's a game number 2 and they lost game number 1, this is probably one of the ones that's up there.
And sometimes at level 1, you can actually see the impact of a coaching staff. No doubt they walked in and were like, what the hell were you guys doing at level 1? You got schooled when the late invade came on to Elise. So what do we see here? A blue person runs straight to eats of the pixel brushes and scouts what's happening. Keeping Jin Air honest, they don't want to be just completely owned at level 1 like game number 1.
Rascal going to hop out of the brush here. Him and Skull going to do a bit of a dance before they head towards that lane that inevitably should be the other way around. Linderung certainly had the upper hand in the early game against the Camille on the Aatrox, and now against a Kled, going to be having a real rough one. It's going to be a chicken start here for Cuz. Certainly a lot of AoE wave clear potential.
3 last stands, and all of them make sense thematically and also with how the champions play, right? The remount potential of the Kled. The extra damage when Aatrox and Silas, who both have kind of those big jumps in healing. In fact, the healing around the map, pretty damn high. So,
Morellonomicons.
And Kled.
Hey, true.
Being very, very potent at shutting down those sort of champions.
Of the 60% healing reduction variety as well. That being uber buffed is a really scary.
So Grievous is a pretty good adjective for Grievous Wounds. What do you reckon we could call this? Like, what's even more impactful than Grievous Wounds? Puncturing wounds?
Yeah.
There should be a word for the super healing debuff if more than one
Grievous,
person has
Grievous
it.
is just so powerful just in general.
And it's fun to say.
I know. We need another more fun to say version.
Wanton is a fun term to say.
It is fun, but it feels
and
less
wanton
on
wounds
the
is
scale.
too much alliteration.
Yeah,
also.
wanton wounds.
What's more than grievous bodily harm? It's kind of murder at that point.
Yeah,
you know?
I think death. Hemorrhaging wounds.
Oh,
hemorrhaging.
Yeah, but that's
kind
of like a bleed effect, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, it sort of feels a bit like that. I don't know.
Mortal wounds? No, I got more. Yeah. I'm going with puncturing.
Puncturing? All right.
But if it's going to be a stat that's on 2 different people, there should be a name for it, right?
Yeah.
It's usually pretty good at
Maybe
that.
it actually has a name and we just don't know what it is yet.
No, I don't got it. If you come up with an idea, I think we'll have an early game without too much action. Game number 1 kind of flowed, and we could talk about the game the whole time, which for a Jin Air series is pretty rare. But here, because we have Silas versus Gragas, it's very different. It's Tucson. He's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's down to about 100 health here as he's going to battle dance very late.
Malrung wants it. Flash axe will do
flash
it.
Forward from Nova as Malrung comes down. First blood once again. Going to be picked up, and 2 kills on the bottom side. Meanwhile, top side, it's going to be the answering kill, but I'd say 2 is better than 1. And Jin Air going to take the lead.
And that was no cast to curse. I cast a blessed this game. No action, no chance. 3 kills happening. Throwing down the chains on the bot side, but picking up a reverse kill. Turns out, if bot lane and top lane are in action, always prefer to go bot. There's more people to kill.
Exactly. Malrung's already done it. Kaz is going to be able to at least confirm the Rift Scuttler on the top side. That was shared by Malrung grabbing his bottom side of the map. If we check in on where the flashes are at, Root still has his. Malrung utilized his though, Kaz with his available means that Kingzone will have the initiative when it comes to ganking from the jungle. But let's see how this all happens.
So this is not weird positioning to play the lane as Zyrakan. We look for aggressive trades, you abuse the long ranges, but it's the perfect time for Malrung to be bottom side, and the payment when you're trying to sow lane presence with the wave on the Jin Air side is 2 kills, so nicely executed by Jin Air. Flash over the Q there was cute, but sadly, still going to be in the death chamber because you're Kled, you can tank for days.
Yep, it's basically the Kled and Gragas combo are very similar to the Renekton and Elise combo that we were talking about in the draft in game number 1, because you've got one character that has the ability to drop turret aggro, and the other one with a bunch of CC.
But actually, it's a little bit more tricky because the person who has the most reliable CC is Flash Gragas, but Kled wants to take turret aggro. So
that's true.
It's a little bit of order operations counting against it. It's not on hit into the rest from the Elise, but I take what you're saying. It is definitely... Linderung feels like he's been hit by the same truck that Renekton and Elise hit.
Well, Infernal Chain's going to be traded there. Similar mechanics to the Bear Trap on a rope, which is cute. Cuz moves down bottom side.
Predator.
He's looking for it here as there's no flash on this Tahm Kench, and he should just be taken down. A little bit of overextension there and a bit of capitalization from Kingzone side. They take their time. They deliver the kill over to Deft, and that should help even things up here as Deft also has a cull.
And nice to see them returning to the scene of a crime. The kills came bot lane. The only flash down was Nova's and Malrung, so target the Tahm. Take the kill and don't be ultra greedy. Try to get root as well. Nice little secure there, and we've already had 4 kills injected into this game. Jeanette marginally, and we say marginally, ahead in gold. Haven't talked about how this game plays out, but it does feel like the... Oh, this is scary.
Yep, World Ender is going to come down. Rascal's going to have to flash. Bear Trap on a rope comes in, but there's the skull. I told a lie. Infernal Chains come in, but they're not going to be procced here. The Joust doesn't actually do anything, though, as he tries to get back. Oh, goodness me, the use of the charge very defensively, and for not very much payoff was a worry, but holds on to his flash.
Yeah, the Bear Trap on a rope, I believe, missed twice, but definitely the critical one on screen missed. And then using the charge there actually is ultra punishing because you can't charge back to lane, and he doesn't have TP. His bot lane.
Yeah, Root's going to get devoured, regurgitated also, and into safety as Malrung makes his way down. That's a face check you don't want to do there as we move away from the bottom lane, back to it. Battle Dance, pretty powerful ability here as Deft is able to get another Blade Caller for super high value.
That one definitely gave bad memories to Root in that play. Cuz's top side through all of this needs to be, because Rascal can't ult back to lane and can't reset while in his current form.
Shifting Sand's going to be absconded. Malrung's going to move on over, clear out some vision, and does so pretty comfortably. It's going to be a trade of red buffs as Cuz is looking to return to the scene of the crime, and Rascal looking tasty here on the top side. But we know that Skal is ready to make his way back.
It would actually be pretty boneheaded from Linderung to die here, because Rascal was like walking up to the ranged minions as dismounted Kled.
Yeah.
He was very much playing as if his jungler was topside, and makes sense with the trade of red buffs basically announcing to all teams where the enemy jungler is. Rascal remounted.
Welcome back, Skal. Going to be dancing around at about half health here as he jousts his way out of that Infernal Chain, and Linderung's going to be at least more comfortably around his turret. The gold lead for Jin Air is slowly dissipating. Of course, it was mainly just extra first blood gold going their way. That bottom lane gank was slightly earlier than the top lane gank of Kingzone. Cuz moving on over here as there's the engage, but it's not exactly the position you want. Cuz doesn't even need to use any sort of flash, and Grace picks the wrong time and gets uber punished.
And there was no warning. Neon started the play, and it couldn't be just flash the barrel for Grace, because they didn't even use it. They just trusted on the early damage there. No escape plans available, even though Grace had both summoners up.
Yeah, it's so crazy, because we talk about the value of Gragas flash so often. Cuz has got 2 kills on this map, sorry, 3 kill participations on this map, and hasn't had to flash once. He's been threatening it the whole time.
And I'm going to say this, which, if you're a long-time LCK viewer, you know what this means. Like, I think he's by far our best Gragas player right now.
Yeah.
Score hasn't been tending towards the pick, and his form has been up and down. Cuz is one of those players that just needs a Predator. He doesn't need Predator, ult, and Flasher. He knows when to hold on to his ultimate.
Sin comes in, doesn't find Root though. Doesn't lose too much of his health bar.
Should still be the Cloud Drake kind of just surrendered with Jin Air in position. If you're wondering why Grace died with flash up, it's if you flash before Gragas ults, then you're just dead. So,
yeah.
Made sense.
Especially if you don't have your Blade Surge. I mean, there's ways to outplay if you can Blade Surge out of the way of the barrel as it's flying towards you, especially now with the animation time being so much longer. But, yep, not going to be an opportunity, and you're going to see it right here.
Lane war deep, so they knew there was no one around the corner. Neon thinks he's got perfect setup here, and he does. He's correct on that one. Grace thought he had a high passive stack trade happening, and instead, it's all engineered, and it's all well in hand for Kingzone. And those are the sort of early game communications between the top side players that they need. They will be a threat on playoffs.
Okay, yep. Root's going to get stopped. Chains of Corruption once again. Great from Root. Teleport coming in here from Jin Air as Def has to flash. Blade Call is late, though, as Linderung turns up and just destroys the Xayah. TUઆD now underneath his turret. The flash forward. Linderung should be able to get two as Nova's tanking it up. Root doesn't even need to worry about it, doesn't get an assist from that one, and Cuz starts up Shelly and says, what the heck are you doing, bottom lane?
Second time they've been able to make these plays happen where the enemy jungler isn't and pay off with 2 kills. We're going to have a turret plate pinata party as the Rift Herald is taken here. We'll definitely get plenty of turret plates on the bot side because the wave was actually pretty big, 3 turret plates minimum. But the overall trade should be even or maybe even an extra plate the side of Kingzone, because the solo play and then the charge from the Rift Herald incoming on the side of Kingzone DragonX, unless they interrupt.
Oh,
got it!
It gets interrupted. The flash forward from Cuz. He is angry as the charge comes in. Great barrel positioning as Grace is going to turn up. Rascal over the wall. It's 1v1s on both sides, but Neon comes in with the teleport to make it a 2v1. Great body slam to cancel out the blade surge. We're looking for some more autos, and Cuz is going to lock down the kill. It is 2 now going over to Kingzone, but Shelly was interrupted, and that is a huge deal in favor of Jin Air.
The action is ratcheting up, Atlas, and getting exciting. You understand why all those plays happen. The interrupt occurring onto that Rift Herald summon, Cuz trying to get it down fast, but not respecting how close Linderung could be. Let's watch the replay of the bottom side play. Second time it's been a double kill bot lane.
And the second time the interrupt.
Interrupt with the ultimate there. Really nicely done by Rudy. He's been on point with that. And Marong playing on this side should have been expected from Kingzone. They thought they could get a kill and get out, but being stopped in their tracks with that route for a second and a half is what allowed Jungler to get in position. Cuz thinks, I'll channel it fast. Even though he's in a control ward, gets well answered, and the TP comes in because the future chase was always going to be there.
Yeah, and it was like Cuz actually wanted to do this because control wards were walked over by both players. This was certainly projected. And might have been Cuz just thinking, well, we'll just take this kill because Neon was very fast on the teleport. You could tell that they knew that that was a possibility.
What Cuz is thinking is, oh crap, there's 3 people smashing down a turret bot lane. We need to do this fast.
Barrel.
No, yeah,
comes in.
Yeah, back up on that one.
Yeah,
but
it's just the mini stun into the wall, which is why I didn't move anywhere.
So people at home know it's very much a, we have to do this fast so that we're not so far behind in tempo of the push. Because if you don't do it fast, the enemy gets the same amount of plates, but also gets plenty of time to ward all your camps, maybe take a Drake or get positioning on one. So you're trying to do it fast, but in that case, he was too disrespectful. The fine line between genius and madness on a channel like that was exploited by Linderung.
It was. And Linderung, hence, will be able to have his turret available and might be able to hold on to these last couple of plates that are inside it all. Teleport coming in. This one's not going to get ulted as TUઆD gets in before the channel comes through. Rascal going to get in relatively late now as Nova finds the Devour.
Party in the bot lane.
We've got a barrel that flies in. Cuz it's going to stop Grace from doing too much work, but the Varus grabs that first kill and Root. He's going to be alive. Oh, the flash! 4-man Emperor's Divide from Neon, and now the Sand Soldiers will be able to clean up. He's combing the desert and reaping the rewards for Kingzone DragonX. Triple kill for Neon's Azir.
This Azir has found water in the desert, Atlas. He absolutely obliterates Jin Air Green Wings, and all Linderung can do is watch on in horror. He made that big visit bot lane before. This one doubles the effectiveness and gets 4.
Yep, and now 4-0-2 for this Azir, and we know what Neon can do with this pick as well. This is why he picked it over the Corki, largely because the teamfight impact is better, but he's also just better on this champion.
He's certainly the Azir side, whatever you say about his Corki games, and that is another moment that could shift it. It doesn't lead to a seismic lead. It's 300 gold to Kingzone. But once again, Jin had been doing a lot good. Snuck in a ward about 20 seconds earlier. First surprise here is that TUઆD can tank this much aggro and not die, because he's why Jin stays interested. And then everyone's coming for the bot lane party, only Linderung not invited. Classic top laner, stuck on an island. Every man is an island, they say. Watch the glide here. Flash, Emperor's Divide. One person instantly into the death chamber. Everyone else, their fate was assured.
Yep. And TUઆD goes in there to try and get the follow-up. CC unfortunately dies before that grand entrance can go off, but otherwise it would have been poetry in motion, and still was. If you're a NGàY fan, this guy now with a 400 gold bounty. It's a lot more plates going over to JAG, but doesn't seem to matter. 1,000 gold is approximately the lead, now equalized by that turret falling down.
Zazier was an aspiring actor who just had his breakout role, and now the phone can't stop ringing. His agent fielding calls everywhere. Huge bounty. Gold into 40% CDR with the Ludens and Nashor's Tooth incoming very soon. Who knows how much gold he's hanging on to at the moment. The charge is back up. Players are around. Linderung no TP, so he has to group quick.
Yep, you can see Rascal now with Scarl in hand, full health bar as Grace is trying to make his rotation over. Linderung also threatening here, and it looks like Kingzone, they don't even really care too much about this Dragon. They just really want to start a fight. We know that their 5v5 is so incredibly strong. Able to zone out of the way is NGàY. That's a guaranteed objective there from Kingzone, just based on the control of the area.
And also just the power level of their champions presently, just like JAG got the early. Yeah, Clouddrake, when they were in position, the reverse is true, and quickly from Kingzone. We already noted in Champ Select how much initiation they have to put insult upon injury. Meanwhile, JAG, they still have strong skirmishing champions. Unfortunately, Grace is quite far behind in having relevant itemization, so while the kit is strong, the dive, and even the levels, 2 levels under his lane opponent are not there, and Linderung also kind of piecing together the 2-item core that we always look for from an Aatrox. So right now, JAG want to fight, but probably can't, and then when the comp really slides into place from Kingzone, feels like JAG will have inferior tools to fight them, so it's going to be on JAG needing to actually once again recreate the moments where they've got those double kills bot lane and out-rotate Kingzone. Because if it's equal footing, I think it's big advantage Kingzone.
And if we go and check in on the story of these two junglers as well, I mean, you got 3-1 and 3 for MauRung. Once again, had a fantastic early game, but it's 2-0-6 here for Cuz. Wasn't punished in his early clears, was in fact able to get kills around this map. He now has his flash back available again, and his Gragas is so incredibly good. TUઆD turning up here, grand entrance going to be used to exit as MauRung picks himself up a quickness. We've seen a lot of Silas's really like this ability.
I like moments like that where you blast. It's like when you open a door and like, oh, this is not for me. Sorry, yep wrong door.
Yep.
This isn't the bathroom. Whoops.
Yeah. This isn't where I parked my car.
I think that reference might be over the head of our viewership these days.
How old is Eurotrip? Probably pretty old.
Eurotrip, or was that the other one?
No, that was Eurotrip.
Okay, make sure. Okay, yeah. Worth watching if you're in the right age demographic, that movie.
Yep. I don't know how well it's aged.
I thought that was Dude, Where's My Car? But that's also an old movie.
Yeah, no, it was Eurotrip, but I think there's similar lines in Dude, Where's My Car? And that's definitely an older movie, so that one would have done it first.
On the upside, JAG knows exactly where the enemy Rakan is, and he's of the same repute as said car. Rolling through here. There's actually quite a lot of things to stress about if you're JAG. They need everything perfect with the item disadvantage to fight even close to evenly.
If they're thinking about the location of their automobile, they're doing something wrong, Papa Smith.
That's true.
Entirely true. Rascal going to be able to clear out this turret very easily. You can see the pressure that Linderung is under. Can't even move towards that one to take it down because the vision just isn't there. For JAG and TUઆD, he's super comfortable. He can just walk around the side of that one as MauRung's going to dive forward. NGàY says no multiple times as the soldiers are set up, and that phalanx is not going to be broken by the Silas.
No way to get in there. The quickness for movement speed, always a weird thing to see on a champion that isn't Rakan, but you understood what he was trying to do and easily disengaged.
Yeah. Already he was only ever going to get ulted by NGàY. I don't know what the goal was. Maybe just wanting to get that ult out.
It's not even a good cooldown trade because after the nerfs, if you look at the presence here of the cooldown timers between NGàY and MauRung, you'll notice actually NGàY will get his ult back faster.
Yeah, that was one of the big nerfs, the fact that you can't hijack things multiple times very, very quickly.
It's not as felt in the early game. It's definitely a scaling. The late game change is like astronomical. Like it's like 10 seconds to 45.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and honestly good. Silas deserves to be balanced even further.
Yep.
To come through, and this is a big Azir. He is the Birdman.
He is extraordinarily good. This is superhero levels of being a Birdman.
Did you ever watch Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law?
Yeah, loved it. The show was so good.
Stephen Colbert is excellent in that show as well.
It's just the, I don't know, Oh, Deft.
no, Deft.
I saw that coming as well. Come on, you got to be a little bit.
We know who the superior bird is on the side of King's Zone. It's the mid laner.
Yeah, I think so too. It is a very avian cult, though. That's cool. It's cool to know. You know, get some synergies.
Can you have a
there.
5 avian, like a Nivea thrown in somewhere?
You needed a Nivea and a Quinn.
Yeah, that's true. Quinn could be top.
Yeah.
Is there an avian jungle?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
Quinn could
Udyr
be-
in Phoenix form?
Oh, there
yeah!
we go.
All
Nailed
right.
it.
We've got a lore combo.
All right, you guys get your friends together and show us that loading screen, all right? I want to see whether it
Tweet it
actually
at Jack.
works
He'll
out.
retweet it. He's a huge Phoenix
Yeah, if there's a
Udyr
Phoenix
aficionado.
Udyr in there, then he'll definitely
I'm
be amongst
convinced
it.
he infiltrated the balance team for
I
8
know.
months to sneak in his Phoenix Udyr buff,
Because he
and
went
then he
back
was
to
like, "My
casting
work
a
here is
mid-
done."
Yeah. Oh, God.
You know that meme where like it's like my work here is done, and the guy's like, "Well, you didn't do anything."
Yeah.
It'd be like Riot Balance.
Hey, he also balanced Lissandra, okay? There we go.
We love Jack. He's just fun to.
It's fun to meme.
Exactly.
King's Zone, they're all in the mid lane, apart from the Kled, who's waiting to charge his way forward. Certainly does have an opportunity to do so. A rare occasion, though, where Jin Air does have some wards around this map, but King's Zone, they straight up don't care about it. They understand that they are just stronger, and an Infernal Drake is on the map, which is why they're posturing for this Drake positioning. Okay, Chains of Corruption comes down. It lands on a Neon, who takes a lot of damage.
Can Jin Air afford to buy what they're trying to sell here?
Hijacked barrel means even more damage onto the Emperor of Shurima, and he's going to have to go back home.
It's
Teleport in hand, however.
It's such a fine line. They're trying to buy, you know, that they can walk up, they can 5v5, but we're really skeptical, Atlas. The setups are here. Rascal waiting, hasn't used the charge. TP coming in.
Yeah, that's going to be Deft making his way back as the Baron is being pinged a lot.
That was an on-screen mid lane turret to right side TP that actually there was no receipt to, so it's an AD carry teleport. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Jin Air going to have to go through a lot of soldiers here.
Yeah, look at all of these barrels. Soldiers there as well. I mean, the amount of poke damage. Oh, that's going to be a zoning barrel, and the Infernal Drake goes down as that's more people caught up by the quickness once again. Vanguard's Edge not getting the work done. The charge is certainly doing so, though, as the Sand Soldiers on a gigantic journey with the Conquering Sands, but they're only going to lose Skull, and they're going to be able to gain an Infernal Drake.
Jin Air had a very convoluted plan there. What they were trying to do was steal the Drake with Nova. He actually had Smite, and only now cycled it to go back to heal. He got almost in range. It was probably pretty close, but there's just no way you can start a fight when it's been prepped by Gragas and Azir earlier. Especially this Azir. It's like international reputation Azir.
Yeah.
Couldn't walk over all those soldiers, but Nova was pretty close to try to steal it away.
Yep, 2 items done here for Root. We're looking for that Infinity Edge for completion for Deft. And Neon, he's had 2 items for a very long time. Still probably sitting on a bunch of money. This is some scary stuff if you're a Jin Air fan, but it's still only 1.5k gold.
Do I have permission to be a bit of a negative Nancy out?
Yeah, of course. I was casting with LS all week last time, so
That's fair. This Varus build that we're seeing it 1-to-1 recreated in game 2. I think you have to go Phantom Dancer or Rapid Fire Cannon. How often are you hitting 3 people and not being deaded? Speaking of being deaded.
Yeah, Linderung might be deaded, but he presses his R button, and that's an undeaded button at this point.
There just seems like there's going to be no fight where Varus isn't under huge threat to just keep orb walking back.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you're getting value out of your Hurricane, you're about to die.
Yeah, exactly. So I would much have preferred some more defensive or poke option than an extended teamfight option. I guess if you go Bloodthirster, you can try to out-lifesteal it if there's multiple people or minions around, but I think it's an optimistic build as King's Zone rolling through topside. Kaz still very, very powerful, even if he didn't go double pan on his build.
Yeah, and Jin Air just have to move away if the Gragas comes towards them. That's just what's happening here. Jin Air's ability to contest vision, though, has been very strong this game, despite where they are in it. You can see Nova moving on over to get even more vision. King's Zone should be just trying to shutter Jin Air out of any opportunity to control this map, but against that, Jin Air have been able to get some things working for them in the vision department, and that might be why they've been able to trend back forward as far as the gold. Couple of items done here for Deft, but it's nowhere near what Root has been able to do. He's looking to try and get that defensive option, and pseudo-defensive, I guess you could say, with the Bloodthirster coming in.
And because there's no big gold lead, you look at this game and it feels really even, but what I always like to consider is point to me where Jin Air get their next win. And like, yes, it could be from big TP play, or they could take down a mistake, but the side lanes don't work so reliably for Jin Air, and it feels like they're just slowly ceding a little bit more to King's Zone. So we're kind of waiting to see where they could mount an Alamo in this game, because they are very reliably being defensive, as we can see.
You can see Deft pretty reliably doing a lot of damage to Root, who does have double lifesteal now, so if the minion wave is there, that damage is not going to stick. Flawless Duet is in need of a rename when it comes to what Grace has been throwing out the last couple of times, but still just fishing. And in goes Malrang, going to find the quickness this time around as they're looking to lock down one, but Tusin's not going to die, and Cuz just murders the Silas. And there's the barrel. Linderung, as soon as he joins, he's going to have to go into his stopwatch. Vanguard's edge. Can we get anything from Grace? But it's just not going to happen. Kingzone, they found the majority of the kills. Deft able to get that flash in. Is he going to die from the Ignite? Last tick is going to do it from Grace beyond the grave. And Cuz goes into his stopwatch. Kingzone have got 3 left alive, and it may just be enough to take down the Baron.
Jin Air are massacred in a team fight. They start. Malrang's playing like it's the early game where he's rolling in out of vision with a lot of base damage. He may have nice items. He was 3-1, and I believe 2 when the play started, but he was deleted as an afterthought. No ultimate needed from Cuz, and the Baron, they got no AD carry, but Azir does a great impression. Goodbye Baron, and potentially goodbye Jin Air Green Wings.
Yep. Rascal, he also does a fair bit of damage. As we have a look at how this one started, Malrang, it looked like he could have almost done something here, but just didn't have enough damage to take down Tusin, even though it was a Guardian Rakan as well. It's not like Aftershock kept him alive there. Just Malrang didn't have the damage.
Also, it was a solo mission where they could just turn on him, right? Like, your best case scenario is you trade 1-for-1 away from your team where you kill the enemy Rakan and the jungler dies. And that's already not a gamble you want. The odds were really long on this one, and Malrang still took it. And unfortunately, this gambler is not going to go home with a windfall. He's going to have to explain to his wife what went wrong in this particular game, as Root will back away. This time, the ult goes wide. He's been on point before.
He has. So we're not going to challenge him too much for that one. Just confused as to why Kingzone didn't come forward to try and face check. Another Infernal Drake is on the Rift as Kingzone. They already have the Baron. They're looking to try and secure that one as well. Malrang does get himself into the river quite effectively, and Neon has to be careful. On his own like that, declared on the bottom side, can charge his way forward at a moment's notice. Deft tanking a little bit of damage here isn't too much of a worry.
And if they charge in Atlas, they've got 1 Devour, nothing else. They set up again.
Yeah, there's the barrel that comes down. Tusin pops the quickness. It's all zoning to guarantee this one. He charms up 1 as Nova's going to get locked in. As Rascal, no worries there at all. Vanguard's edge, not a problem. As there's the Empress Divide onto 2 instantly! Everyone gets obliterated. It looked like Kingzone were trying to disengage, but no, in goes Neon, and down goes Jin Air.
The debate was real. The charge in one direction, the action's over, surely no, Neon does it all himself. And it's going to be another ace.
Yep, inner turret is going to go down now. That is the ace. Like you say, Rascal finishes that one off, and now Kingzone should be able to move towards this inhibitor turret. A much cleaner game from Kingzone's side. Now a 10,000 gold lead at no moment, apart from maybe a small one in the early game with Jin Air ahead. This was all about Kingzone and all about Neon's incredible Azir play at multiple times.
And the end result, it is the expected 2-0, but the route to get there was very winding. Game number 1 performance gets smacked down by all the other playoff hopefuls. No way that Kingzone beats any of the other teams in contention with a game number 1 like that, but game